Okay, hello, Tara Thorne and Lesley Smith. While watching it, do you ever get freaked out by your movie Compulsus?
Ooh, I think that's a Lesley question. Like
Do
freaked out in what kind of way?
In any way, does it ever make you feel uncomfortable? Do you ever get mad?
Oh, that's a great question because at first blush, I am thinking like, just as an actor watching yourself on screen, sometimes it can be uncomfortable no matter what. Um, but I do find the ending always does kind of hit me right in the heart and get my pulse racing.
I do not become uncomfortable watching the movie because I've seen it too many times. So my I don't have any reactions left.
Fair enough. I guess you got the compulsus tolerance.
That's right, it's dead.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe you want to talk to me about what this movie's in debt to and what it departs from. I felt like you could definitely jump off of like Dirty Harry and the Death Wish movies, but also the rape revenge subgenre with movies like Miss 45 or I Spit on Your Grave. But it is different. So tell people how it's different and similar.
Sure. I mean, we get compared to Death Wish a lot, and it makes me laugh so much because it just does. It's just funny. Yeah, I wanted to do something that subverted the idea that for women to be vengeful, something bad had to happen to them personally. So the sort of the rape revenge genre, I've never seen anything in that genre. I don't feel the need to see it. But certainly if you think about the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo or even like Kill Bill, these are women who have been raped, and then it's like, oh, and now they're merciless killers. It's like, well, that's not what our movie does. Our movie is like, what about all the women who have been raped? Can't you as a person just be empathetic to that and be angry about that and take revenge on that? So that's what we did.
Yeah, I mean, when you throw in rape as like a plot device, it is pretty grisly.
It's upsetting. Yeah.
It's gonna upset like everyone. I found like in a movie like Thriller, A Cruel Picture, like the producers said we just did it just for money, but but in the movie it really like it's very captivating because now she's using it as revenge, and because you've seen it, you want her to kill these guys basically. But
I even think like there's this movie called Teeth that came out. It was like one of the last of the Bob Weinstein movies, and it was about this woman who had vagina dentata, and so she was but for her, so she was like basically cutting guys' dicks off, but that meant she had to be raped over and over. So I was like, what is the concept of this movie? What are we doing here? Like she was tricking guys into taking it anyway. So I mean, I think it's an easy sort of it's an easy plot device. You go, what's the worst thing that can happen to a person? And it's always something to their body. And with women, it's usually rape. So it's a very sort of easy thing to do. And when men do it, it's usually it's photographed with the male gaze. So another thing that we do is it's all women, and our DP's a woman, and I'm a woman, and it's like it's there's no male gaze involved at all, which I think makes a difference as well.
Yeah, I would say out of that genre, the most similar it is to Miss 45, because it becomes just like a general mission like Death Wish to like clean up the streets.
Yeah, the Death Wish thing. Yeah, we should maybe do some co-pros with like double features with us and Death Wish 7 or something.
It's not a bad idea. Do Death Wish 1 Compulsus, then Death Wish 2.
Yeah, let's do it.
Go. All right. So vigilante movies assume that the legal channels are not enough to deal with the issue presented. Tell me about the dialogue with that idea in Compulsus.
Well, in early drafts, Lou, Wally's love interest, was a cop. Because that was the sort of obvious highest stakes thing to me was, well, if you're dating someone new and everything's going really great, but you're secretly a vigilante, like what's the worst job that person can have? And it was cop. So I ended up changing it in the wake of Black Lives Matter a bunch of people had read the script and they're like, are you sure you want to be contributing to propaganda? And I'm like, you know what? I don't. So we changed Lou's job. So she's a court stenographer. So she's still in the court system, which means she has access to the police and judges and people she needs to do favors that happened in the movie. So it still keeps the plot moving. And in terms of the law being present, white women committing crimes is not something the police care about. So Wally's literally never voices any concern that I can recall about the police or worries about them or looks beyond her shoulder for them or anything. It's just like, she's not concerned. And because she doesn't need to be. And that's, I think, sort of the, another bit of the subversiveness is like, she doesn't have to worry about getting arrested. Like, I think Lesley would be a very successful serial killer.
My goodness.
Thank you.
You would go undetected for a really long time.
So, but there is like dialogue with the various characters in the story. Not everyone's on board with street vigilantism, maybe fascism, whatever.
Fascism.
I think so. Yeah. If you're gonna go leave the legal avenue and like take it upon yourself.
Yeah, there's certainly everyone around her. Well, her friends don't know she's doing it, but they're kind of like. They're kind of back and forth on vigilantism against these men as a concept, because part of them are like, well, I've had bad experiences too, so I'm happy for this guy to get punched in the face. But maybe we should leave it to the people that take care of it.
Right. It's a tough one. I mean, I felt like a wide array of emotions. I'm someone who hasn't taken to the streets over anything. I do work in customer service, and I've stood up for ladies who get creepily hit on a lot, and I'm not to like pat myself on the back, but like you feel good, like you know you're doing the right thing, but you're also knowing that this guy can just pop off any second and punch you in the face.
That's true. It's hard. Vigilantism is defending people. It's a slippery slope. It can go any direction.
Yeah. But one thing I really enjoyed was the poem that really put hair up on my arms. So tell me about the vibe on the set when that was filmed.
Oh, do you want to talk about that? I've been talking a lot. Which one? I guess.
Yeah, which do you mean the one that comes in the middle?
Yeah, the vigilante.
The red one. The red one. Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah, Sue Goyette, who wrote the poetry, just brilliant stroke of genius there, Tara, to have Sue come on board. The piece, the vibe on set, I guess actually truly, it was a very noisy little cafe, and just the focus in the room was fantastic. Despite that, the team came together, and our DP, Nicole Cecil Holland, had some really great ideas, I think, particularly for using color and the lighting involved. But truly, the words are so well written, and it was an absolute joy and privilege to speak them.
I remember you saying, so it's really, really long. It's like 2 pages maybe. And almost all of the lines start the same way. Do you remember that? Yes. And at one point we made you do it over and over. And then I was like, so do you have another one? And you're like, I could do this all day.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I could have, but we would have run out of time.
Like the idea of the poems was, and I could have written them, but I wanted a real poet to write them. Was this idea of like, how do we show her kind of internal monologue where like all these people don't know that she's living a double life, and how do we demonstrate that, and how do we express that? And I also just wanted to show that she's a writer, and she's got this very rich inner life, and she uses language in different ways. And so we have these 3 they're kind of act markers, really, like beginning, middle, and end of poetry that I think really just makes it a little bit different than I don't think there are any poems in Death Wish. But
that would be interesting in itself, though.
I would love to see Charles Bronson turn to me and start reciting. But yeah, and you know, shooting them, it was really lovely, and you know, I like to do a lot of long takes because I think it makes the most sense in most cases. And that one we cut around a bit just because it was so long. But the opening scene is a single take, and the nice thing about that was it was just like nuanced choices. There was just like a wealth of choices, and I just got to pick my favorite one, which was like a wonderful thing editing Leslie's work.
Cool. So are you guys happy that the movie is included at Fantasia Fest this summer?
I am shocked. I was like, we are not cool enough. We are not genre enough. I saw a quote from Denny Cote saying, I don't know how I got into this festival. And I'm like, if that guy doesn't know, then I certainly don't. I'm very stoked. We're both going up.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, what's your vibe on how you think the crowd's going to be? I truly have no idea.
I think, I don't know. I've seen there's a documentary called Out in the Rain, which is all about.
Oh yeah, we saw that in Inside Out.
Yeah, exactly. So for people who don't know, it's about LGBTQ plus friendly wrestling leagues, and then there's another one called Hypochondriac, which is about like a horror movie about a gay guy and is it's basically the director talking about who is gay, talking about his issues with his mother, and kind of
classic
things of this nature. And then so I felt like there's personally this year it felt a little different. It felt like there are more socially conscious genre films, and I was wondering, do you think you would say this is a part of that, or do you think there's a rise of that?
I don't know. This is truly not my area of like, I'm not a genre person. I don't say that in a derisive way. I don't have a high tolerance for like gross and weird. And in the wake of being chosen for Fantasia, I get lots of DMs from festivals from around the world with like horror in their name. And I'll go, yeah, you can see the movie, but you're going to be disappointed. Like you're not going to book it.
Although I do wonder if many people might view a woman being this angry, taking charge and enacting violence against men with no part of the justice system taking part as horrifying. I think many people would view this as a horrifying concept of a film.
I hope so. Whatever it takes. Yeah, but I kind of go, I consider it a gay movie with some punching, but I think it's being seen as like a punching movie with some gay shit. Depends on your perspective.
Yeah. So we were talking about some other like rape revenge movies and things, the grisly stuff. Do you think maybe this will be our last question? Thanks for your time. Sure. I really appreciate it. People check out Compulsus. But what do you say maybe genre fans need to check themselves a bit? Maybe they're unaware of some of their bigotry.
I mean, it's a genre it's deeply rooted in violence, and I think if that's something, again, I am not an expert, but if that's something that's beginning to be interrogated, there's a film that I'm trying to find called Take Back the Night that seems to be kind of similar to ours, except the woman is maybe being stalked by some sort of monster. I do think it's like anything. The wider the gates open where you let in marginalized people to demonstrate their perspective, the deeper and richer anything gets. So I think that's probably happening in genre film as it is in all arenas. So, I'm not judging anyone. I hope for the best. Come see our gay punching movie. You'll like it, probably.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.